Good morning, Mount Vernon School District family. I'm here with our great superintendent, Dr. Vivanco, and we're going to talk about returning in the fall, going back to school in September, and what it's going to look like. Dr. Vivanco sent out a blog that you could see on our website, and all the information is there, but I thought I would bring you in person to tell the community what the fall is going to look like. So I know you've been working hard on it, working every day and planning every day for the fall. What is the fall going to look like for our district?
Yeah, thank you. Again, first of all, thank you everybody for listening in. I'd say first and foremost, we're planning on starting the fall with in-person full-time. And that's our plan right now. That's the direction we are receiving from the state to plan in that direction. That being said, obviously we know a lot could happen between now and then, but as we move forward, that's definitely going to be our plan, is to start full-time in person starting here fall.
Now, I read in your blog that the students and faculty will probably be wearing masks again when school starts. So can you tell you what the CDC and the Department of Health recommends for the fall?
Yeah, great question. And again, just to clarify, the CDC is the national guidance that we receive, and 90% of that is what the Department of Health, that is what we follow, usually adopt. So for us, what we've been hearing is that more than likely, and hearing it from our state superintendent of public instruction also, is that we probably more than likely will be wearing masks. What they might ease up on are just maybe our cleaning regimens and health check-ins with our kids, because they're finding that that really is not as effective, or doesn't really prevent the virus from happening, but the mask definitely does.
Well, because COVID and other sicknesses are usually spread by not wearing a mask, right? So, and the other thing we're going to continue doing, right, is cleaning the bathrooms, washing our hands, having hand sanitizer available, and mask available for students, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Again, those are the things that we're going to be continue to do. And again, we're just continuing to follow the CDC guidance to make sure that we are able to put into place what they recommend and just make it more efficient for our school to be able to come back to in-person learning.
So I have a second job. My most important job is that I'm a parent. And I have my son who goes to Washington, and go Wolves. Anyway, I love my son going to this district. So as a parent, how should I prepare for the fall? What should I think? Because right now I'm preparing for the fall because I'm excited that my son Alex gets to go 5 days a week and gets to go to school and be with his teacher. So what would you recommend for parents to do during this time of a successful reopening?
Yeah, again, I would say, again, like the school, we are planning on being back in person full time. It's better to plan that way, and then if we have to make adjustments, we can peel back. So I think as parents, we would just say, hey, let's just plan on being back to school with that option. If we have to adjust, then we adjust as we need to, again, depending on the Department of Health guidance.
Now, I know it's difficult right now, is the 6 feet, the 3 feet, all those different rules that are coming from the Department of Health for the classroom. So can you tell us more what the Department of Health and the CDC is talking about the 6 feet, 3 feet rule? Because I know it's talked about a lot in your blog.
Yeah, great question. So right now, as you probably heard, the Governor Inslee allowed schools to maybe go down to 3 feet. But the 3 feet was really not taken into account, like, for example, cafeteria. So with the 6 foot rule and/or with even the 3 foot rule, schools might have a challenge to bring all kids back. So we are going to be depending and hoping that the Department of Health will provide more different guidance, more flexibility in that option to really allow us to be able to come back to in-person learning for all students.
So in our plan for our reopening, how's that going to affect? Like I teach mariachi, there's band, there's orchestra, there's sports. How is that going to affect the activities? How is it going to change, and how is it going to look for the fall?
Yeah, again, great question. Those are things that they're changing week by week, so it's hard to really determine. But again, right now, our hope is that they can continue to give us the most flexibility possible while still adhering to the Department of Health guidance, health and safety guidance.
What I'm looking forward is to a home football game, and like back to a fall football game. I would be really excited if we could do that. So can you tell me what steps they're doing to prepare for the fall, especially with lunch and transportation? We haven't got to talk about that.
Yeah, great question. Again, if we have that flexibility, we want to make sure that we're able to provide options the way we've had traditionally have had them. That being said, I know that one question is going to come up is what about maybe online or remote learning? So right now we are looking into online learning, which is different than remote. Remote is what we had to put in place this year. We're going to again continue to look to the state and see what guidance they provide. But we are going to basically interview and survey our parents to see about that online learning option. If we are able to do an online learning option, we're going to look at that. If we're not, we might look at a remote learning option, much like we had this year. I do know that the direction we have been receiving from the state is that if we do have a remote learning option, it will be more rigorous than what we've had this year. So again, we're just waiting to hear more information and direction, and that will help determine what we will do this next fall.
That's really interesting because I know school districts around the country are doing like an internet academy or students that just do internet school. So would that be a possibility for the fall, or what ideas when you come? I know you talked a little bit about it, but if I had a student and I felt like, I don't feel safe for him to come back, I want to do internet and I have the resources, how would that look for one of our students?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I mean by like an online learning option. So that's something that I really foresee, whether it's next year or in the years to come, that will be part of what we always provide. In this transition, if we can't make that happen quite yet, again, we'll look at what the state guidance is, and then we might do, again, a remote learning option, much like we had this year, but again, more rigorous.
So if they want to find out more information about reopening, and I know you're always open to the community's opinions and the community's thing, they could reach out to you, they could reach out to the district. How would a parent or a community member reach out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Always go to questions at MVSD.org. Questions at MVSD320.org. And again, just call our office. We're happy to answer any questions that we have. And again, look at the superintendent's blog that we have every Friday. And that'd be probably the best way to get hold of us, and or call the district office.
So we're going to have the information of the district office below. We're going to have Dr. Vivanco's email and his staff. They are working extremely hard to make sure that we have a successful transition to September. I can't wait to see the kids 5 days a week because, my first job is a teacher, and I just can't wait. And I love what we're doing right now is seeing some of the kids in person. What was the greatest story of that with the students coming back this year that you have heard?
Great question. There's just been so many stories we've heard, but I think just really the joy and excitement of all our kids that I guess what's cool is that we've had about 5 or 6 or 7 first days of school, and that's been awesome for our kids and our families to do that, but we hope to only do it once next year. So looking forward to a brand new school year next year. Thank you.
So I hope you got some questions answered today. Dr. Vivanco is always available, and we're going to have this video available on YouTube, on social media, and all the information is at the link below. Gracias, Dr. Vivanco.
Gracias.